Hello, how are you? Welcome back. Welcome back. Season 4, season 4, season 4. 4. Welcome back. Listen, now in this particular video, let me introduce myself. I'm Miss Janice. In case you don't know, I'm Miss Janice. I know this is the world's largest name tag, but it is what it is. Nevertheless, I'm Miss Janice, and I want to talk to you in this video about money. Money, money, money. Organizing your money. See this? Money, money, money. Money, 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 money. Money. You got to organize your money. You know, y'all be talking about multiple streams, multiple streams. Y'all, I'm going to have multiple streams. I'm going to have money coming from the north, south, east, and west. Well, you got to organize it, sweetie. So if you have it coming in from the north and you organize it, then maybe you can have it coming from the south. And you organize that, and then you can have it coming from the east and the west. And you got multiple streams, and you organize it, and you working that thing. But you got to organize it, right? Okay. Even if you ain't got but $1, organize it. Now listen, remember I told you I used to be a bookkeeper, right? Okay, first of all, I grew up illiterate, and I think I'm dyslexic also. I diagnosed myself. I Googled it, and then it looked like I had all the symptoms. It looked like I have all the symptoms, but I grew up illiterate, and when I was 30 years old, I was reading on the 3rd grade level, right? And so when I finally admitted, okay, girl, you're illiterate, you need to try to learn how to read. And so, but we only had 2 books in the house, right? We had the Yellow Pages, the phone book. That's way back in the day. This was like in 93, somewhere around up in there, in the early 90s. So we had 2 books. We had the phone book and we had a Bible. And every black family had a Bible in their house, open up to the 23rd Psalm. Well, my family was no different. We had a Bible in the house also, in Daddy's house. And so I learned how to reading the Bible. And so for the first 10 years, from 30 to 40, I practiced my reading the Bible. When I was 40, I went to school. And I did that career in a year. I was taking accounting operations. It's so ironic how God, right after me learning how to read the Bible, he said, okay, I want you to learn about money, about finances, about accounting. It wasn't my choice, but that's another story. I'll tell you about that later. So anyways, so I learned the importance of bookkeeping. And I used to have a bookkeeping company. I started, after I finished school, I started doing bookkeeping for a company, and then I went on to take on other clients. And accounting, bookkeeping is so important that God started dealing with me about it when I was a server. I started out as a server, and I worked my way up into a general manager position. And then after that career, after I finished with that, or after that season was over, I went into, that's when I took the accounting class, right? And so, but when I was a server, God had me claiming 100% of my tips. Now, a lot of servers, 90% of servers, they don't claim all of their tips because they don't want to pay taxes on them. But what they don't realize is that now you can't prove your income. If you want to make a large purchase, if you want to buy a car, or if you want to buy a house, or if you want to make any purchase, any large purchases, they want to see your financials. And if you've said all year you've only made $3,000 in tips instead of the $30,000 that you made, because you don't want to pay taxes on the $30,000, now you don't have income to show. So God started dealing with me about it back then, but I didn't really understand how important it was until I started doing business and started keeping books for other businesses. Now, this is a very simple accounting system. It's like the dinosaurs, like the basics. Okay, this is our scale that we're going to be using, this scale in season 4. And so now if you want to learn about the scale, now you're going to have to go back and go to season 1 and season 2 and get some more. I built a little foundation, but I'm going to use the scale a lot in season 4. So you're going to have to probably play catch up. Okay, now the scale has 3 sides. You got the right side, you got the left side, you got the middle. Right? Now, this particular video, when I'm getting ready to get into the accounting part, there's some people, me, Miss Janice, I'm in the middle, right? There's people on the right side of me. There's people on the left side of me. But I'm in the middle. Some of you watching me are also in the middle. When you say, okay, Ms. Janice, I need an accounting system. I agree with that. I like that. I'm going to use that. Or, no, I'm not going to use that, but I'm going to use another system. I like the concept, but I'm going to da-da-da, right? But you realize that you need something. And the basics, because that's what I'm teaching, the basics, right? Now, this side of the scale, these people over here, they saying, Miss Janice, I don't know what you talking about. I ain't going to never need no bookkeeping skills. I don't even want to hear this. As a matter of fact, you wasting my time. Those people over there, right? We going to pray for them. But then you got people on this side of the scale, and they're like, Miss Janice, you so slow. I ain't going to say that. I don't want to speak that over myself. They're going to say, the people on this side of the scale, they're like, you know, I'm ahead of you, girl. I have an accountant. I have a team. Or I do mine digitally or with my bank. Every time I do something, it scans the receipts and it files it for me. See, these people right here, these are the advanced people. These are the people like, okay, you know, I need something. I'm not, you know, I hate bookkeeping, but I'm going to do something because I need my financials to be in order so I can submit it to my accountant. And these people over here, they just don't have a clue. But you got to know where you at on the scale, right? It ain't going to be for everybody. But some people, it's the basics. I'm going to give you the basics. And some people are like, child, I was there 30 years ago. Okay, now, one way is get 12 envelopes and put the month, 1 month on each envelope. January, February, March. You got an envelope for each month, right? April, May, June, July, yada, 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 right? You put the month on the top. You can use these envelopes for more than 1 year. You put it that way. You put, like this one says January 2026. When you go all the way through them and you get to December 2026. So then now, when you start over with January, you'll cross out. See, this one is from 2024. When 2024 was over, cross it out, 2025. 2025 is finished, 2026. So, see, you can use it more than 1 year. Several years you can use it, okay? So, but I don't use this system with the 12 envelopes because I have a few receipts. I don't have a lot of receipts. So, the system that I use is, voila. I put the year and I stuff everything for 12 months in one envelope because I don't have a whole lot of receipts. But the things that I do have, the things that I do need to submit to the accountant, I want to make sure they're in the place where they're supposed to be. Everything supposed to have a place, and put the stuff in the place where it's supposed to be. A place for everything and everything in its place, something like that. Anyways, so I do this system. And I can also use an envelope several years because guess what? Where's that? Where the little top at? You just cross off the year and the next year. Cross off the year, next year. Right. Okay. Now, when you're doing it this way, when you're not separating everything each month, at the end of the year, you're going to have to separate all of it. Or you can just submit the whole envelope to the accountant and they'll have a bookkeeper to sort it. But keep in mind, that's going to be more money because that's more time. So you want to make sure all of, especially in the beginning of your business when you don't have a lot of extra cash flow and you want to try to save money where you can save money by using this system, because if you have everything organized when you submit it to the accountant, all they got to do is plug in the numbers. They don't have to go through and sort out everything and put everything where it goes and you know, dates and categories and all of that, because you've already did that ahead of time. You kind of did a little bit of the work yourself. Now, keep in mind, if you use the 1 year system like I do, and when you got to sort through all those receipts, the most frustrating thing that I find about that system is every company put their date on their receipt in a different place. Some company put it in the upper right-hand corner. Some companies, some stores put it in the upper left-hand corner. Some stores put it on the bottom. And so you got to be searching through every receipt to find out where the date is, because you got to sort everything by date. But if you use this system with the 12 envelopes, you only have to sort categories. You don't have to look through and find the dates. Sometimes it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. But I've been doing it so long, and that's my system, and that's what I do. So these are some very basic bookkeeping system. And I really should have probably recorded this video the end of December. So January 1st, those of you that have, maybe you do nails, or maybe you do hair, or maybe you have a lawn service, or maybe you have a food truck, or whatever business you have, you want to grow that business, right? You do want to have multiple streams, right? And so, but you got to make sure your financials are in order. And a lot of people don't like bookkeeping, including me. I kind of stumbled into the field by accident, but not by accident, because God wanted me to know ahead of time how important it is, because I am one of those persons that that's believing God for multiple streams. And I know I have to be organized, because we serve a God of order. So go ahead, get your envelopes, or one envelope or whatever, but keep everything in its place, and make sure you have your stuff in order, sweetie, because you need to be able to show your numbers. Okay, you need to be able to show your bottom line. Is this a profitable business, or if you're losing money, or where you losing money, or whatever, you got to analyze that report, and so you can move forward and build a strong business. And your business is only as strong as your financials sometimes, most of the time, a lot of times. If you're going to get a loan or something, they look at them papers and they look at that. They know right way to go ahead and look at that number and like, ooh, either, ooh, girl, you doing so good, or, sir, or, ooh, child, you need to go and you got work to do. Okay, so let's go ahead on and make sure we start out, in a good place, right? Because we got to get ready to make all that money, honey. Okay. Organize your money. Set up your system. You either here or you here. We praying for the people over there. I need to pray for this shirt, right? Okay. You either, where my little pointer at? You either here or there. And we praying for them people over there. Okay? Talk to you soon. Have a good one. Hey, go check out season 1, 2, and 3. Season 4 is here.